This looks like a keep to me. Go Mausoleum Wanderer into Supreme Phantom, attack for 3. Ooh, okay, so we're fighting against Tron. We're going to want to go fast. So it looks like Supreme Phantom into Supreme Phantom to me. I'll name Spirit again. Do I let this Ancient Stirrings resolve? Probably, right? Urza's mine. So it does give them one of the Tron pieces they were looking for, unfortunately. I wanted to keep the Mausoleum Wanderer on the table for a clock. Hey there, Blind. Oh, looks like they've got the Dismember for the Wanderer anyway. That does a bit of damage to them. And we'll get in for a little bit more here. Let's see what we get. Spectral Sailor. So, probably just Supreme Phantom here. I'm just thinking here. If we go Rattlechains, we only get 1 damage in this turn, but next turn we get 1, 2, 5. So it evens out after a turn. Oh, what? They just have the tower? That's not good. Probably going to... oh, Wormcoil Engine? Yeah, that's pretty bad. We do have Selfless Spirit to block sack, so we can absorb 1 hit. Blind with the resub, 3 months. Thanks for the company and the support, friend. Hey, Blind, what modern decks would you like to see more often? Another Cavern of Souls. More spirits. Okay. You tuned in on the right day. So as much as I would love to throw down a Supreme Phantom here, we wouldn't have enough mana for the Selfless Spirit if we did that. So we'll attack for 3. We'll put down Selfless Spirit's Spectral Sailor next turn so we can stop the attack, and then go for Supreme Phantom and hope that's enough. Is this Xaxes? That might be, depending on what they play here. They still got 3 cards in hand, and all the spells that they cast are absolutely terrifying. They've played a land this turn. So if they starve for something, they're not going to be able to play it. Or, sorry, scry, I guess is the right word. Karn Liberated. That is a problem. So they're going to be able to get rid of the Supreme Phantom here. And we're going to need another way to deal with this Wormcoil Engine, because we no longer have lethal. It was close. It was real close. But even on the play, we weren't quick enough. I think we were on the play, right? Yeah, we were. Spell Queller. Not good enough, I'm afraid. So I think we probably just have to kill Karn. And we're going to take 6. They gain 6. Sucks, but it is what it is. Pretty hard to race a Wormcoil Engine, honestly. We had a really good shot there for a second, but the Karn Liberated taking our Supreme Phantom away from us gave the opponent the time they needed to start gaining the life with the Wormcoil Engine. So let's see here. We have Damping Sphere out of the side. We could bring in Path to Exile to help deal with Wormcoil Engine. Pithing Needle is definitely an option. We can name Expedition Map. We can name Blast Zone. No, it's non-land, right? No, that's... okay, Pithing Needle's good. It can name lands. Just can't name mana abilities. Or rather, stop mana abilities. Alright, so they're at 14. We put the Spell Queller down. And then that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So at least we're doing more damage. Force of Negation, Damping Sphere, and Needle. Good to know. Because we're going to be heading to Sideboard real soon. Okay, I mean, that's something. Got him to 6. And they put a charge counter on the Blast Zone. Blast Zone can get rid of Rattlechains and Supreme Phantom, which severely hampers our clock. And Wormcoil Engine is going to be able to take it down from there. I guess I could still get Shacklegeist. So if we get Shacklegeist off the top, I think we can still play. I mean, of course, that's depending on the opponent having nothing. So the Karn Liberated there seals the deal. We'll move on to game 2. Force of Negation, Pithing Needle, Damping Sphere. Thinking the Skyclave Apparition and the Spell Queller aren't everything we want them to be. Selfless Spirit doesn't seem all that hot. Spectral Sailor, I think, can probably go. We're not really going to have enough time to be drawing cards with it. Of course, that's 7 cards. We only need to get rid of 5. Robin Hood, thanks for keeping me hydrated, friend. We'll keep some number of Selfless Spirit for O-Stone, things like that. Alright, so we have 2 lands. We have Aether Vial. This hand looks fine. We'll keep. No, nothing to put down on 1, but we'll get going. Okay, our opponent is taking advantage of how well Tron can mulligan. They weren't able to find turn 3 Tron on 7 or 6, so they've gone down to 5. I've seen Tron win with a 3-card hand because 1, 2, 3, they just put down their 3 Tron pieces, slam down a Karn on turn 3. It's one of the really cool things about the deck, is how it can win through having almost no resources. Moorland Haunt, not going to help us out here. We're just going to play Supreme Phantom and pass. Okay, so they're going to get to turn 3 Tron, easy peasy. And unfortunately, Skyclave Apparition cannot break this up. They're going to be able to sacrifice the Expedition map in response with the Apparition on the stack. So that's not going to get us anywhere. Okay, turn 3, they have Tron. Spell Queller not going to be doing too much unless they play something like Karn the Great Creator, in which case Spell Queller might be super, super good. Was not expecting Spell Queller to be a bomb there, but it did its job. Wilt cycling. And another Expedition map. So we can apparate that map. Get it off the board. So that they won't be able to go get a blast zone. As a Tron player, you have to go with the Tron. You can root for whoever you like. Nothing wrong with being a Tron fan. We got plenty of those among our followers. Okay, so unfortunately this Karn is going to resolve. They could go get something like Ensnaring Bridge, and that would be a bit of a problem. Yeah, there it is. Ensnaring Bridge, so we're going to need another Skyclave Apparition to get rid of that. We can fortunately kill the Karn unless they play another card out of their hand. Don't play the Rattle? Sure, okay, I'll leave it back. Might be able to get some value out of it later. Protect a spirit from Karn or something. It's not like it can attack right now anyway. Let's see here. Always no, always yield. And a Selfless Spirit. That's not going to get us very far. Let's just get rid of this Karn. Oh, what? The Nature's Claim, so now I can't attack. Rattlechains doesn't give hexproof to Aether Vial. And this is only creatures gain indestructible. So bye-bye Aether Vial. And that also means we can't attack. Unfortunate. Oh, that's, that story. All kinds of ups and downs there. It's always sad to hear about cards being accidentally damaged like that. I think we can probably concede here. Maybe we could still get Skyclave off the top. But this Walking Ballista is quite the beating. Alright, let's go ahead and draw a card, see what we get. We get Spell Queller. Really looking for Skyclave Apparition there, but no luck. So Walking Ballista is going to be able to start taking out our creatures. We don't have much longer left. I think we can concede to the Ulamog. Wonder if this is going to be our first Lumimancer matchup. With a Watery Grave, I would say probably not. Shacklegeist. Would have liked Shacklegeist Game 1 versus Tron. Could have tapped down that Worm Coil engine so it couldn't attack. Mesmeric Orb. Alright, we can apparate that. So we won't end up milling too many cards to it. And Aether Vial. Don't really have time for Aether Vial if I want to apparate this Mesmeric Orb. I guess I could play Supreme Phantom Aether Vial, but Aether Vial isn't going to be ticking up to 3 anytime soon. I think it might be a little bit too late for that Aether Vial, and maybe we'll just ignore it. I'm wondering if I want to fetch... We've already fetched once, and they didn't have the trap. I guess we could tempt fate, go again. They've drawn, what, 2 cards since then? The thing is, like, we don't have to. We don't have to tempt fate here. Alright, getting in for a little bit of damage. Got rid of one of their orbs. And it looks like, all in all, they haven't done too much yet, as they're heading into their turn 3. Next turn, we have Drogskol Captain into Supreme Phantom, so we're going to be able to present quite a bit of damage coming in fairly quickly. Another Mesmeric Orb. And we get another Shacklegeist. So I guess we could go Supreme Phantom Shacklegeist here, which would, I think, be the most damage next turn. If we want to do that, we will have to use the Flooded Strand. And we'll go get... No, let's see here. Hallowed Fountain's already gone. It looks like they do have the trap, unfortunately. Yep, we're up against Mill, and they've got an Archive Trap for us. So we're down to just under half our deck, but we've got a pretty aggressive clock going here, too. We're going to be able to put Drogskol Captain out next turn, so that's going to be another 8, 9, 10, 14. So this looks like lethal next turn. Oh, they got a fetch land here. I mean, that is going to do a lot. And we've got a mill for 6 from the Mesmeric Orb. So we've got 20 cards right now. The Polluted Delta puts us down to 17. Kept a hand with 3 traps. That's got to feel pretty good when they set off your trap card right there. Cast 3 Archive Traps in a row. Pretty decent. Glimpse the Unthinkable puts us down again. So 13 minus 6. Okay. I think we should be good. They do have a block for Apparition. So that's 8, 9, 10. We just have Exaxes. with their block. GG. Got them for Xaxes. Alright, so let's see here. We got Force of Negation. That's a thing. Otherwise, I'm honestly not too impressed with the rest of the sideboard here. We could bring in, like, Rest in Peace to try and protect us from Surgical, or to keep the opponent from using their Visions of Beyond. But we would be taking out creatures in order to do that. I would rather have the creatures to be able to attack them with. Keep those bridges out of here. I don't understand how a bridge can even stop one of these spirits. Wouldn't they just, like, fly through it? So we do have to get rid of 2 cards. I'm leaning towards the Shacklegeist, which looks to be one of the weakest creatures that we have. We're not really going to be tapping down any of their creatures, so we can get rid of that pretty easily for the Force of Negation. Otherwise, like I said, I'm not too fussed about any of these cards. I guess we could bring in Remorseful Cleric for the Shacklegeist. I think Remorseful Cleric will be slightly better than Shacklegeist. Because like I said, what creatures are we tapping down? Basically none. And Remorseful Cleric can potentially help us out, either stopping the opponent from drawing 3, saying they can only draw 1 instead, or protecting something in our hand if they try and Surgical it away. Well, that's unfortunate. We have a 1-land hand here. We're going to have to mulligan this. Ooh, good point there, Blind. This hand is way better. I like keeping this one. We're probably going to have to get rid of land. Can we get rid of Flooded Strand here? I guess we could, technically. Just thinking that way we don't have a fetch land to set off one of their traps. They're going for a crab right away. We'll put down a Mausoleum Wanderer. Now we're going to be looking for second white mana so we can cast the Skyclave Apparition. Not too interested in casting the Force of Negation right now. We'll see if they put anything up that's scary enough for me to cast the Force. I mean, mill 10 cards is pretty scary. But I don't want to really be losing my clock for it. Selfless Spirit. Okay, we'll play the Selfless Spirit. We'll get an extra point of damage out of the Mausoleum Wanderer. And this leaves the blue card in hand for the Force of Negation. Oh, Granum, thanks for stopping by. The Prowess stream on Friday was really, really fun. I think I went 3-2 with the prowess, or sorry, with the Kiln Fiend list, and 4-1 with the Light Scribe list. Really, really enjoyed playing the more streamlined decks. Thanks a lot for the help with that. Okay, so we have the Selfless Spirit, which could potentially save the Wanderer. I kind of feel like we just let this happen. Keep the Selfless Spirit. And if we're going to let this happen, why not counter it just for fun? Okay, so opponent is having some trouble with their land drops here, which we might be able to take advantage of. We have the Rattlechains, which we can throw down at instant speed, or we can just put down Remorseful Cleric. I think I'll put down Remorseful Cleric and hold up Force of Negation. Absolutely, we're going to call that variance. One league isn't nearly enough data to be able to come up with any kind of reasonable conclusion. I just mean that both decks were very good. They perform very similar, honestly, but the Light Scribe had the advantage of keeping the creatures on the board, where you're attacking with 4/5s and 6/6s instead of attacking with a 13/2, which they can just easily block. Okay, so another Fatal Push going after our Selfless Spirit here. I guess we'll just activate Selfless Spirit. It looks like they're having a lot of trouble with their lands here. And they're just letting us clock in for 2 every turn. That's fine. Drogskol Captain, we'll throw that down. Still keep up the Force of Negation for anything particularly scary. Islands, hi there. Glad you made it back to the stream. So you're having a bit of a tough run, eh, Granum? Sorry to hear that. I mean, that is part of the game, right? Poker players have to deal with this all the time. It is a little bit frustrating, though, when, despite your best efforts, you just can't seem to get lucky. Hopefully that'll change for you soon. Another Selfless Spirit. Let's just attack, play Selfless Spirit, and pass. I guess we could play the Selfless Spirit pre-combat. No, because if we play it pre-combat, we won't have Force of Negation up in case they try and kill our Drogskol Captain or something. You're a poker player and a Magic player, so you know all about variants. You quit poker years ago? I've heard that quite a few Magic players get into poker. There's just better money in it. So I guess we'll just Rattlechains, save our Drogskol Captain. It does mean that we have no more plays, but it does put us in a pretty decent position. Like I said, with opponent here missing on lands turn after turn, we still have 36 cards in our deck, so we shouldn't be under too much. Oh, and they have the Visions of Beyond for 1 card. That's got to feel pretty bad. Poker Rake is like a small percentage, and MtG Rake is huge. I'm not too sure I understand that one. Maybe it's just like is your Rake your take? Okay, opponent scoops him up here. Yeah, unfortunately, they just weren't able to find the land quickly enough, and we had a clock. This hand looks fine. We have 1, 2, 3 set up. Inquisition of Kozilek. Well, that's going to break up what we're doing. Playing basic Swamp Inquisition with no Luris. Smallpox. I guess we're going to counter that. Okay, Smallpox. We're playing against 8-rack. How terrifying is that? I guess we'll throw down Selfless Spirit here. Oh, is this a Liliana? Okay, no, it's not Liliana. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, deals 2 damage to them. So this is an 8-rack. This is like 12-rack. Or it's maybe even 16-rack. From the Crypt, good morning. Or budget 8-rack, yep. Could be playing this in just straight up instead of Liliana. We can at least get rid of it with the Selfless Spirit. $75-rack. Alright, one more Drogskol Captain, and our spirits will be invincible. Oh. But my Drogskol Captain. Oh, there's the rack. So let's see here. For me, it is 7:44. Looks like we've got a lot of different time zones in the chat here. Ooh, another the rack. So they're going to be clocking us. This is 4 damage. And we're attacking for 5. Oh, the Skyclave Apparition, not bad. We can get rid of one of these racks, as well as continue to put on pressure. You think don't play the Skyclave Apparition? Really? I guess they have 0 cards in hand. So let me think here. If we keep the Apparition and they get Thoughtseize, it's really bad if we don't play it. I think like playing the Apparition seems really good to me. Because this way, if they get any kind of targeted discard, it's dead. We take less damage next turn. Oh, no way. You were another 8-rack player as well. Very cool. I've spent a bit of time playing 8-rack when Deathrite Shaman was part of the deck. Good times. Oh, I see how it's going. Oh, I get it now. Fine with keeping the Spectral Sailor in hand. It's not going to increase our clock at all, and keeping it in hand reduces the opponent's clock. 8 rack is whack. Oh, they do run Ensnaring Bridge. That's very true. For a second there, I thought we were going to see it come down, but it looks like GG to me. 8 rack is on track. I remember the big argument about if we were supposed to play Dark Confidant in the deck or not. So let's see here. We have Force of Negation, which seems pretty good. Not so much as a free counterspell, but as a cancel, maybe. It might even be worth 2 for winning ourselves for some particular spells, like being able to Force of Negation a Liliana of the Veil could be pretty important. And I think we could pretty safely get rid of Shacklegeist. Opponent's not going to be having many creatures to tap. And since we're getting rid of Shacklegeist, we could potentially bring in Remorseful Cleric, but that's a white card, whereas Shacklegeist is blue for Force of Negation. So maybe we'll just leave it like this. We could bring in the Pithing Needle. Stop them from activating one of their Planeswalkers. We'll keep this. It's a keepable hand. And mulliganing against the 8 rack deck is generally not a good idea. Oh, an opponent let us go first. A classic 8 rack strategy. Is Spirits a real thing in Modern? I thought it was more of a Pioneer deck. It is a real thing. I would call it a solid tier 2. Yeah, the Supreme Phantom put the deck onto the map, and then the Skyclave Apparition knocked it out of the park. Alright, I'm thinking we'll probably just hold up Rattlechains here. And we'll put that down. So that they won't have a good smallpox. Okay, there's a rack. Not getting any work done yet, but it won't be too long before our hand is brought down. Let's go to end step and put down that Rattlechains. Looks like you're going to have to say the rack. It's like a pimp named Slickback. You got to say the whole thing. Fatal Push on the Rattlechains to kill it. It is what it is. Wow, I didn't realize the rack was so expensive. That's kind of crazy. I mean, that's what reduced printings does for you, I guess. I don't know that I'm even going to play a land, honestly. I think I'm just going to play Supreme Phantom Pass. Okay, another kill. Do they have a land to go with it? No land. Okay. What do we get? Spectral Sailor. Spectral Sailor has flash. We could play Shacklegeist, hold the Sailor. We are getting down into the rack territory, but, I mean, we got to put creatures down in order to win the game. So we are going to have to reduce our hand size. Oh, wow, they have another Fatal Push. Yup. It wouldn't be too surprising, though. Makes sense to have a lot of these good 1-mana removal spells. Not a Liliana, okay. And it looks like they get no value from this Collective Brutality. They're looking for a non-permanent card. All of our cards are permanent in hand. Alright, so we're going to play Spectral Sailor. We are going to have to take one from the rack. And we get an Aether Vial. Alright, we're going to play Supreme Phantom so we can start getting our clock going. And we'll leave these other two cards in hand. Although, if we get to next turn, we can start drawing cards with Spectral Sailor. So, Spectral Sailor does everything. Slices, it dices. Oh, gotta get rid of somebody here. Someone's asking for a banning. Get out of here. Don't tell me how to become big-time famous. Figure it out on my own. Moorland Haunt. I like that one. Geronimo 914. Thanks for the follow, friend. Yeah, that's right. I'll ban you too. Bring down the hammer on anybody that offers me fame. Oh, with a Wrench Mind. Unless they discard an artifact card, I'll discard an artifact. Aether Vial, yep. Oh, I like the not like this. What is that? Some kind of owl? That's cute as heck. We'll get the Nigerian prince in here. Alright, let's draw a card. Spectral Sailor. MVP versus 8-rack. Alright, stop on upkeep. Draw another card. We'll take no damage from the rack. If only we could play the Drogskol Captain. That would be pretty good, huh? Alright. As long as we're drawing cards, we're doing pretty well. Let's keep all these cards in hand. We have 4 mana for the Spectral Sailor. That's all we need. Ooh. Bantu's Last Reckoning. Destroy all creatures. Okay, well, that gets rid of our board. We do have the Moorland Haunt to rebuild. Spell Queller, huh? Kind of think I just want to play the Drogskol Captain. We probably do want to play one of these lands as well. We're getting pretty close to activating the Moorland Haunt. As well as playing a 3-drop. I'm just wondering if I should hold up Spell Queller instead. No, I shouldn't, because they played Bantu's Last Reckoning, so their lands aren't going to untap. They can't untap these lands, that's right. You're respecting the rack too much? That's fair. I could have been doing more damage instead of drawing those extra cards. We'll put down the Flooded Strand. That way we can hold up Spell Queller and Moorland Haunt. Which I think should lock it up for us. Raven's Crime. What if we just Spell Quellered that so they wouldn't be able to retrace it? Oh, they had another Raven's Crime? Yeah, whatever. The rest of our cards in hand aren't any good. Smack. The rack hits for 2, but Drogskol Captain. It's going to get in for a lot of damage now. This is actually Xaxes. Very nice. Opponent has no cards in hand. These are all fly. So GG. Another game in favor of spirits. This hand is okay. We'll keep it. We have a turn 1 Aether Vial into Stuff. Oh, and it looks like we're playing against the Lumimancer deck. So we're about to get a taste of our own medicine. They pretty much have free reign to do what they want this turn. So let's see how scary it's going to be. Ooh, are you scared? I'm terrified. Look at this pair of humans. So scary. Our own medicine might have the side effect of losing sanity? Yeah, I would say so. But my sanity has been tenuous from the start. Spectral Sailor. Okay. So we can actually get the Shacklegeist and Sailor in and tap a creature down. That's cool. And I'm going to get the Spectral Sailor down right now so that they're not able to break up the tap a creature thing when I try to tap the Aether Vial to bring the Sailor in. If I waited for the beginning of combat or something, for example, when I tap the Aether Vial, they could remove the Shacklegeist and I wouldn't have 2 creatures to tap their Lumimancer down. We'll be able to hold up Spell Queller and Supreme Phantom next turn. Again, letting us tap down a pair of creatures. And once we get the Drogskol Captain down, we're going to be hitting for some pretty big numbers. Let's see what we can get done anyways. Don't want to look too far ahead into the future, because whatever the opponent does this turn could screw everything up. Okay, so they're playing the Sunbaked Canyon. They're going to lose the value of the Vantage. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. I hit the 1 button. I'm such an idiot. The whole plan was to tap down one of their friggin' creatures, and I let them stupid attack. Well, that's a punt. I'm going to go ahead and put that into chat. Because I'm a big idiot. And now I'm taking extra damage this turn. Yeah, it does. Everyone makes mistakes. It's unfortunate, but we're just going to have to roll with it. Another Spectral Sailor. That's not going to do us any good here. Let's just go get Island. And we'll have Spell Queller and Supreme Phantom. Ooh, a Crash Through. We're going to counter that one. Oh, what? Path to Exile in the main. That's a shock. Too bad we can't get the Drogskol Captain down to save our creatures here. But because of this, they're going to be able to recast the Crash Through, which is really, really bad. Because that's actually going to give them an extra prowess trigger, as well as the trample. So I think we're actually dead here. Yeah, this looks like lethal to me. We can put down Supreme Phantom so we can absorb some damage, but then we lose all of our creatures anyways, and they keep all of theirs. We're dead. I don't know if we would have been able to get through this game if we had played properly, but we would have had a much better chance. Let's bring in the Path to Exile. Damping Sphere is actually kind of interesting. But we definitely want the Forge-Tender, so that's 5 cards. That's not going to leave us enough room to be playing around with Damping Sphere. Oh, 6 cards, actually. So let's see here. I think Spell Queller is pretty weak. We're going to take that out. And then I think we'll take out Spectral Sailors. We're not going to have time to be drawing cards. The 1 toughness is pretty bad. And we have to get rid of another card, so we'll get rid of those ones. You like getting rid of the Shacklegeist. I kind of like the Shacklegeist as a way to tap down their prowess creatures. I know that I really screwed it up on game 1, but that doesn't mean the card is bad, it just means I'm bad. Islands thinks we get rid of some number of Skyclave Apparition. I think the Skyclave Apparition are super important. We're going to want to be able to keep all of them so that we can just get rid of any creature that they put down onto the board. It's going to be super important. Anytime we can remove one of their creatures is really good. Thanks everyone for the advice on the sideboarding. I definitely really appreciate it. Even though sometimes I don't follow it necessarily, I do appreciate it. So we have a 1-land here with Forge-Tender. I don't think this is worth keeping. We could just easily get stuck. We'll keep this one. It's pretty slow, but it has 2 removal spells, so opponent won't be able to pressure us. Okay, you would keep some number of Queller. That's fair. Personally, I'm terrified of keeping Queller. with the opponent potentially being able to get double prowess triggers off of their spells and how easy it is for the opponent to kill a Queller. But sometimes I can be a bit of a coward like that. Alright, we're going to start with Supreme Phantom. Opponent can do some pretty scary things turn 2 with Lumimancer, but turn 3 is the real go turn, and we're going to have Skyclave Apparition to get rid of their creature before turn 3. Okay, so we are taking some significant damage this turn. Another land, unfortunate. Get rid of Lumimancer. They put Lurrus to hand, and I think they should have probably attacked first. They could have gotten a free attack, I think. So they don't have the mana to play a Lurrus right now. They need double white. And if they're presenting a large amount of damage with a Swift Spear, we can path it. But if it's just 2, I'm going to leave the path in hand for something scarier. We can take 2, no problem. Okay, and here's the Lurrus, so we're going to be able to path that. Now the question is, do we want to path it now? They have 2 mountains in play, so they might have 1 mountain left in the deck. We can just path the Lurrus during their draw step next turn, so they still don't get any value, and maybe they draw the land, and even if they don't, the land comes into play tapped. Alright, let's get some gas. Mausoleum Wanderer. It is a card in our deck. Can put that into play for free with the Aether Vial. So I'm just wondering if I want to attack with the Apparition into the Lurrus. Or should I just path the Lurrus now? I think we'll just path the Lurrus now, guaranteed get in the damage. And they do have the mountain. Alright, so we have Mausoleum Wanderer if things get really scary. Opponent plays Sunbaked Canyon and draws a card, so they're really flooded. Another Crash Through. So Trample means Mausoleum Wanderer is not too good at getting in the way here. We'll probably just have to take the 2 damage. Oh, looks like they're going in for more. Oh man, Lava Dart. Alright, this means it's going to be a lot of damage. No reason not to sacrifice Mountain here. They have a ton of lands, so they can get an extra 2 damage with the Lava Dart. While they're thinking about it, they could have something else to play with that 2 mana. So maybe like a Kiln Fiend or a Light Scribe. Okay, looks like we're taking 3. Alright, let's put down the Wanderer. Waterlogged Grove, we'll go ahead and crack that immediately. Moorland Haunt, I would love to play that, but we've already played a land this turn, unfortunately. Kind of want to leave the Mausoleum Wanderer back to block. They've used 2 crash throughs, so hopefully they won't have trample this turn. They do get another creature in the Soulscar Mage. If they're just attacking for 1, I don't want to block just 1 damage. And, of course, it's not just 1 damage. They have, like, a bunch of stuff. They had the Dart to get rid of the Wanderer if they really wanted to. Do the Vial trick during combat? Did we have anything to do? Ooh. Ooh. Got a little bit distracted there. Skyclave Apparition's a nice draw. We can just go ahead and get rid of this Soulscar Mage. Attack for 4. Tap Vial but put nothing in case they answer. I like that. I'm wondering, yeah, we can't really attack with Apparition into the Soulscar Mage. They have the Lava Dart, so they could just kill Wanderer, block Apparition. So we'll put the Apparition in, get rid of the Soulscar Mage, then attack. And we also have the Moorland Haunt to make another Spirit. Okay, so they're going to use the Lava Dart now, so while they still have the opportunity. They don't know if we're putting in, like, Drogskol Captain or whatever. So, Mausoleum Wanderer down. Apparition's doing a bit of work, and we have Moorland Haunt as a blocker. Another Swift Spear, brutal. They are attacking. Oh, Boros Charm. Target creature gains double strike. Okay, so we're only taking 2 here, but they are going to basically kill everything on this side. Love Boros Charm in this deck. Super, super good. Whenever Boros Charm can activate for all 3 modes, you know that it's a good place for the card. I'm wondering, we should probably keep the Skyclave Apparition back to block. And we can get some pretty good blocks in here with the Selfless Spirit to keep our spirits alive. Okay, so they are coming in with everything. Let's use the Aether Vial first. I had nothing. Go to blocks. Block here, block here, block here. Okay, let's see if they do anything. They do. Okay, they have a Boros Charm. 4 damage to us, puts us to 1. And we'll sacrifice Selfless Spirit. At 1 life versus Boros Prowess. Not looking good. Not looking good. The Shacklegeist is very not bad, though. We're going to be able to tap down some of their creatures. But if they get Lightning Bolt, we're dead. Yeah, why not? Just give me the time. Yeah, that's true too. Do we get creature off the top? We do. Nice. So we're going to have 2 new spirits coming in, so we should be able to attack with Apparition and Shacklegeist. Sailor plus Haunt will keep these 2 tapped. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put them to 3. I think this is the best way. We attack for 4, and then next turn, if we're still alive, we can kill them. Our last spirit token. Alright, go ahead, opponent. Do you draw Lightning Bolt? Oh, Manamorphose. Watch the top card be a captain? Ugh. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Another Manamorphose. The sweat is real. 2 cards in hand. Oh, they find the Lightning Bolt. They got it. Good game. Hard fought. We almost got there. We needed 1 more turn of them not finding Lightning Bolt or Lava Dart. Okay, we got a 2-land hand. We have a turn 1 play. We're going to keep this. Opponent has Luris. So this could mean a lot of different things. One thing it could mean is we could be facing the Boros deck again. Aburakima, welcome, welcome. Okay, basic mountain, Swift Spear. Okay, so it looks like we're definitely fighting the Boros deck again. Okay, so we got a couple of options here on what we want to play this turn. Supreme Phantom gets in for the most damage this turn. Shacklegeist would allow us to tap the Swift Spear, but I kind of want to get onto the aggressive here. Oh, your 5.0 list got published. Congratulations. No more secret tech for you. Our other option is to use the Rattlechains. I kind of like the Rattlechains line, honestly. It does a little bit less damage this turn, but it does more damage next turn. And it could potentially save our Wanderer from whatever spell they have in store for it. So we'll try this. We're going to Rattlechains, see if we can counter one of their spells with it. And this will give the Supreme Phantom quite a bit of damage going next turn. Ooh, Overgrown Tomb. Okay, so this means this is Jund Shadows. Totally different deck. Totally, totally different. Although the start here looks very similar. I do like a bit of Jund Shadow. And they go to the end step. So we didn't get an opportunity to use the Rattlechains. If they have removal spell here, we can save the Rattlechains. We'll just sack the Wanderer. Oh, nice. Okay, yep. Doop, doop. See what we draw. Hallowed Fountain. Okay, we'll play the Hallowed Fountain tapped. We'll play Supreme Phantom, smack for 3, and then next turn we can play Geist, and keep any shadows they might have tapped. Another Swift Spear. Ooh, they're at 7 now. And they're going to Lightning Bolt the Supreme Phantom. Okay, that makes sense. Looks like they're getting in for 6. Puts us to 9. And no shadow. Alright, Aether Vial is no good. And these Shacklegeists have flash because of the Rattlechains. So let's move to their turn, and maybe we can surprise throw these Shacklegeists into play. Tap down one of their creatures so they can't lethal attack. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Kroxa will discard Aether Vial. Armorek? Yes. That seems to be the way this list has progressed. Generally, we want to have creatures that have these abilities so that we can be aggressive with them. If our spells also turn sideways for damage, that is ideal. Okay, so we're playing against Jund Shadow, so we're going to want the triple Path to Exile, and we can also bring in Burrenton Forge-Tender. Oops, I want Pile View, actually. So let's see here. I brought in these 6 cards. We're going to want to keep in the Selfless Spirit, the Rattlechains. Shacklegeist are so-so. They actually seem pretty good. If we're tapping down Death Shadow with Shacklegeist, that seems really good. Spectral Sailor, as always, is one of our worst cards. Shacklegeist is talked of as a maybe 2 of last time I checked. Been a while. Yeah, Shacklegeist is the one of the worst cards in the list, along with Spectral Sailor. But it fulfills a very important role. Both being able to attack and stop a Wormcoil engine. I think we can get rid of some number of Spell Queller. Maybe even 3 of them. It'd be pretty nice to be able to counter some of their spells, but opponent has like Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt. Killing a Spell Queller is a small thing for the opponent. A very easy thing for them to do. I don't think we want Rest in Peace. I think that's overboarding. I think we'll probably just go with this. All right. Our opponent might have gone AFK for a moment after they submitted the sideboard. They haven't revealed... That's interesting. So they chose to play first, but they haven't revealed their companion. So they would have had to have been at the keyboard when the match started and then left? Maybe they got DC'd? It's a mystery. Skull, morning. Thanks for joining us for some Modern. Yeah, I'm very happy to keep this. We don't have a 1, but we do have the Path to Exile to get rid of a Shadow. Okay, so this is going to be a discard spell. They've got some options here. Would not be surprised to see the Path to Exile bite it immediately. And it does. Drogskol Captain. Alright, so I guess we'll just play the Flooded Strand. Opponent knows about everything except for the Drogskol Captain, so we'll try and keep the unknown cards on the other side of the lands here, so we can keep those separate. Trick that I used to employ when I was playing Paper Magic is that after an opponent cast a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition or basically any effect that allowed them to see my hand, the known cards, I would turn them upside down so that I would know which cards the opponent has seen, and then any new cards I draw would be face up in the hand, so I know what cards they haven't. I like having little shortcuts like that because, as I may have mentioned before, my memory is not all that great, so I require a little bit of help now and again. The funny part is I'll write down, you know, like the deck that I'm fighting against, so that when I'm sideboarding, I don't forget what my opponent was just playing like 2 minutes ago. And I'll also put down who won and lost the match, because sometimes the life totals aren't going to make that very obvious. Cavern of Souls. Okay. So the Cavern of Souls is the only unknown card at the moment. We have the Rattlechains, so we'll probably just play that. And being able to Rattlechains into Drogskol Captain could be very strong. I am kind of scared, though, of whatever the opponent is up to. Just put the Lurrus in hand with all that mana. Just Lurrus. Or do nothing. Do nothing is fine, too. We'll play the Rattlechains. And hopefully they'll let us untap. No, they're just going to kill the Rattlechain straight off. Okay, another Seachrome Coast. Not very happy with how this is working out so far, but opponent has only 2 cards left in hand compared to our 5, and our Moorland Haunt is going to give us a little bit of advantage. If we could actually, like, Moorland Haunt, Drogskol Captain, and then start making 2/2 hexproofs, that seems pretty good. We could also Shacklegeist, so we could start tapping their creatures. But whatever we play out now is definitely at risk. I think I'm just going to Drogskol Captain. It's our best use of mana. And if opponent has it, they have it. We can at least start making 1/1s if they kill our creatures. This feels pretty awkward, though. It would have been really nice if this had Flash, and we were able to flash it in with the Rattlechains in response to their removal spell. That would have been sweet. What is this? 3 mana, put Lurrus to hand? I think they should have attacked before they did that. It's going to be pretty hard for them to attack now. So Lurrus doesn't actually have anything in the graveyard to get. Seachrome Coast comes into play tap, so we'll play the Cavern of Souls. And we have access to Rattlechains plus Shacklegeist, which is pretty cool. So we'll just attack with the Drogskol Captain. Put them onto Death Shadow life total. And then we'll tap down their creature before they can attack with it. Death Shadow. Yep, no surprise. They have another Death Shadow. I see. That does make things a little bit scarier. They were going to have it anyways, though. With the Vernon Catacombs there, they were going to be able to do the damage to themselves to be able to put the Shadow into play. So we could let them attack here. I think that's fine. No attacks. Okay. Oh, right. We have to play the Rattlechains first, because that's how the Shacklegeist gets flash. This one. Tap your Shadow. Okay, so we have 6, 7, 8. I think we probably just Moorland Haunt. If only we had the mana for the Rattlechains too. We don't want to make their shadows super big here. I think I want to win next turn. Handsome, welcome to the stream. Glad you made it today. How have you been, buddy? Yeah, we'll just keep our creatures back to tap their shadows and try and win next turn with an Alpha Strike. Chaotic. Well, there's been a lockdown here in Nova Scotia, so I imagine your kids are home. There was actually another case at work last night, so that's really scary. No, I didn't go in last night. The plant was closed because they knew about the case. It will be reopened. Should actually be reopening now. Feckin' Halifax. Well, we've been super, super lucky here so far. We've had very few cases of COVID. And I think that has allowed people to become complacent. And we're dealing with we're dealing with that, I believe. So this is GG, I think. It is. 3-2 with the Spirits deck.